It has seemed almost an endless task for the Detroit Pistons to regain the form that once gave them NBA respectability in the mid-70s, the days of Bob Lanier, their last playoff venture. But what a big step they've taken with the drafting of two #1 choices, Isiah Thomas of Indiana and Kelly Tripuka of Notre Dame. Together, these two rookies have ignited a spark in the Motor City. Thomas, great playmaker, and inside intense play by Tripuka. And the Pistons have already won nearly as many games as they captured the entire season a year ago under Coach Scotty Robertson. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, the Lakers have welcomed back the return of perennial All-Star Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from injury, and the Lakers remain atop the strong Pacific Division. Meanwhile, the star of late has been Irvin Magic Johnson, who over the last 7 games has led the Lakers in points, rebounds, and assists. He makes the team go. Magic at his best right now. But with all the stars in the Laker galaxy, the significant contributor, underrated Norm Nixon, selected to the West All-Star team for the very first time, enjoying his best year. So tonight, from the Forum in Los Angeles, CBS Sports begins Super Bowl weekend with the Detroit Pistons beating the Los Angeles Lakers. And we are live at the Forum in Inglewood, California, as the Los Angeles Lakers, who are playing their best basketball, go against the Detroit Pistons on CBS Sports. And good evening, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton. This is just the start of a big weekend, our best weekend of sports. It'll be capped on Sunday with Super Bowl 16 from Pontiac, Michigan, and that's where the Detroit Pistons play. Well, you know, the Lakers, of course, they want to win a championship as they did 2 years ago, and they're playing tremendous ball with a great galaxy of stars. But the Detroit Pistons are on their way in a different manner. They have been in the doldrums for so many seasons, but on the spark of 2 great rookies, Isiah Thomas and Kelly Tripuka, Detroit has come out of the doldrums, and they are becoming more and more a factor. And I want to bring in Bill Russell. I know he is partial to big men, but I want to ask you, Bill, how can a team turn things around with 2 rookies who are not centers?
Well, there's a misconception that you have to have a dominating center to turn the franchise around. What you need to turn a franchise around, as the Pistons have done, are players that come in with a winning attitude, that know how to win, but most important of all, they have a type of game that helps the other players play better. These 2 kids have those type of games.
Okay, Bill, so at this point, and the Pistons have won 17 games, what is their biggest problem? What do they have to do at this point now?
What they have to do is make sure they do not accept losing, because they're only 1 or 2 players away from being a good team. They need a big guy. They can use a big guy. He does not have to be a real dominant, but a big guy that can hold his own with the other big guys in the front. They don't have a power forward or a center that can really hold on with a real good team.
The Detroit Pistons with Isiah Thomas have become a running team, and Scotty Robertson said, we're going to run. Even with the Lakers in their great running game, we're going to run with them. So they're going to beard the lion, and we'll see how it all comes out. The Pistons and the Lakers on CBS. Stick with us.
The NBA on CBS. Tonight's game is sponsored by the Miller Brewing Company. Brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. The U.S. Army. The Army, a great place to be all you can be. And by Subaru. Inexpensive and built to stay that way.
And the starting lineup, starting with the visiting Detroit Pistons. And one of the top rookies in the league. A lot of people thought he should have been an all-star. Kelly Tripuka from Notre Dame. The power forward is Phil Hubbard, because Edgar Jones is injured and Phil Hubbard is starting in his 3rd year out of the University of Michigan. The center is Kent Benson. Most people think he'd be better off as a power forward, but Benson from Indiana in his 5th year is the center. John Long, what a score. He had 36 in the previous game against the Lakers, and he can hit the bombs. Long is the off guard, and Isiah Thomas out of Indiana, the second player picked in the draft this year, the starting five, and Coach Scotty Robertson, who formerly was a head coach with the New Orleans Jazz in their expansion season. For the Los Angeles Lakers, Jamaal Wilkes quietly doing a brilliant job, averaging over 20 points a game, starting at small forward. A great story. Kurt Rambis, with Mark Landsberger hurt, has made the most of his opportunities. He is a free agent rookie. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who will be making his fourth consecutive start as the Western center in the All-Star game next week on CBS. In the backcourt, Norm Nixon. He's having his best year and coming off a brilliant shooting night against the New Jersey Nets. And Magic Johnson, who really makes this club go, averaging 19 points a game. Look how versatile he is. Magic Johnson and Coach Pat Riley, who has taken over and done a fine job for the Los Angeles Lakers. The officials, Earl Strom and Mike Mathis. The Lakers are in the lighter uniforms, gold. The Pistons in the dark uniforms, they're blue. And we're set to go here at the Forum. Tip control by the Lakers, Norm Nixon. He's number 10. Johnson's 32 in the backcourt. Kareem is 33. Rambis 31, and Wilkes 52. And to no one's surprise, Bill, they go into the big guy early, Kareem, and who misses the shot, and Detroit takes over. So they should go heavily to Kareem tonight.
Well, what they're going to try to do, run. If they can't run, and when they go inside, they should use Kareem, because he plays in a way that with the guys cutting, and they get good movement when he has the ball.
Ken Benson hitting outside, and that's a sample of what Detroit's strategy is going to be, to keep Kareem away. But the running game works for the Lakers.
And that was a great pass by Magic Johnson, because that's the kind of pass that you don't try to hit the guy like a quarterback. What you do is you drop it out there and let him run to it.
That's called touch. Isiah going to the hoop. This is there. Kelly Tripuka fighting for the loose ball. And here's the break again. The Lakers have won 6 in a row over Detroit, and they have won 4 of their last 5 games. Magic goes low. He can play so many different positions for his club. Beating Rambis, who lost the ball, and Kareem tries to save it. Stepped out of bounds. So already we saw them go low to Kareem. Benson hit from outside, and Isiah Thomas penetrate.
Now, the Pistons want to run, but what they want to do is to try to open the middle up, is have Kent Benson go outside and shoot. And if he can make a few, then Kareem will have to play him honest, and then that open up the middle for the rest of the guys. But he has to hit a few, more than just one.
Against Nixon, Isiah Thomas misses inside. Tripuka loses the battle to Rambis. Controlled fury is the way Pat Riley describes Kurt Rambis. Passes inside to Wilkes. Another fine pass by Johnson. And was Jamaal Wilkes. In the corner, Bill Hubbard hit. Bill Hubbard.
I noticed that the Pistons are getting the ball up court quickly. And what they're trying to do, even if you don't have a break, is try to get the ball up before the defense has time to set up. Because when the Lakers get the ball, get set up defensively, they're too tough.
Look at that pass. It's been a 2-man game so far. Magic Johnson and Jamaal Wilkes, with Johnson playmaking and Wilkes getting inside for 3 buckets. He has all of the 6 Laker points.
You won't find a better forward in basketball without the ball than Jamaal Wilkes.
Quietly does his job. He'll do whatever you need. And a great save by Rambis at one end. Working on Thomas. Norm Nixon hit. Norm Nixon hit his first 11 shots against New Jersey the other night and wound up with 28, his season's high. There you see now as the Pistons are attacking the Lakers, and we will have the first foul. It's against Jamaal Wilkes, and the first foul of the ball game. So the Pistons 17 and 24 as Jamaal Wilkes commits the first foul of the game. They are 4th in the Central Division, but they won 21 games last year, so they are vastly improved.
Doesn't take a lot to improve on 21 games.
But by mid-season is a different story. Benson's pass is deflected by Kareem, picked off by Rambis. Magic has Nixon on his left, takes it himself. Benson the rebound, and here come the Pistons. They have a 3-on-2. Tripuka. Thomas pulls up.
Now, he didn't make that shot, but that's the way he should have ran that fast break.
And we'll tell you more about that later.
Because
of the other end.
What you have to do on a 3-on-2 fast break is take that ball to the foul line and stop. A lot of guys won't do it. Now here comes Norm Nixon up court there. And the pass to Rambis. And he's going to try to slight foul.
Benson's first foul and the first team foul on the Pistons. Kurt Rambis hits the shot. We're going to get back to Isiah Thomas. We'll know he'll be in a lot of those situations. But you're looking at Kurt Rambis, who was a third-round draft pick by the Knicks last year. They dropped him, and he went to Athens to play in Greece and performed so well in the summer league. The Lakers hired him as a free agent from Santa Clara. Listed as a rookie. 5-point lead. Tipped up and in. John Long gets credit for that bucket. Loop it into Jabbar. And a block by, I think, he yells for a foul. I think Tripuka got a hand on it. Tripuka and Benson double teaming. Long misses outside. Rambis tears the ball away, and the Lakers have a 3-on-3 with Nixon going in. The basket is good enough foul. Norm Nixon on a great move, but Kareem is still yelling foul the other way, and he thought he was hit.
Now here goes Nixon right down the middle. Kept his eye on the target. And that's one of the toughest things to do when you go into, as they call, traffic with all the big guys around the hoop, is to keep your eye on the target and don't let those guys distract you.
John Long commits the foul, his first, and Nixon hits the free throw. One of the things Scotty Robertson said Isiah Thomas has to learn is when to go up with the jump shot as he did before, right?
Right. Because, you know, a lot of guys think you have to challenge these guys, but sometimes that's not good. And other times it's a good idea, but when you got to make those big guys have to think.
It's not like college basketball when there aren't that many great centers around. He's going to be met by somebody inside, so he has to dish it off or take the shot. We have an offensive foul called against the Pistons. As you look at Pat Riley, the former Kentucky All-America, and Scotty Robertson, who is an assistant coach under Del Harris in Houston, Larry Costello in Chicago, and Cotton Fitzsimmons in Buffalo. 8 minutes and 10 seconds remaining first quarter, and the Lakers have doubled the Pistons right now, 12-6. Knocked away by Hubbard, and a good play by Phil Hubbard. Long with the ball, taken right back by the Lakers, and here's Kareem.
Now, what they played that the Lakers just ran that didn't work, they were trying to get Rambis involved in the offense, and that's the play they run to try to get him a shot inside.
So an 8-point Laker lead. Benson keeping Kareem outside, and Jabbar's playing him tight because Benson can shoot. Hubbard missing from the baseline, and Abdul-Jabbar the rebound. Out to Nixon. Lakers are rolling, and a foot block is called. So there is Isiah Thomas, who came out of Indiana 2 years early. His mother, Mary, of course, having problems. He wanted the financial security, buying her a home. He came out of West Chicago in a tough neighborhood. Kareem gets the ball inside, and he's just pounding away at the lack of force in the middle for the Pistons.
Well, they believe they can most teams can overpower the Pistons inside. So the Lakers, naturally, they're going to attack their weakness. What the good teams do, they will take a weakness and probe it, and just completely exploit it until the team has to over-adjust. And when they over-adjust, then the other stuff comes. That opens the game up for everybody.
Kurt Rambis commits the foul, and that is the second team foul on L.A. Magic already has 4 assists on the game, and they resulted in 3 baskets with Jamaal Wilkes. Long, baseline over Rambis. Tough play. Notice they get it to Nixon. Nixon is the point guard here in the first quarter. That was a perfectly timed pass on the fast break from Norm Nixon, who, when the coaching change was made, he came alive and Cooper came alive. What a pass.
Now here comes Norm Nixon up the middle. What he does is he makes the defense have to commit. And then he makes the pass. And that's how you run a good fast break.
So we have a timeout with just under 7 minutes remaining in this first period, and the Lakers have opened up a 12-point lead. Lakers are leading in the Pacific. Detroit right now is in 4th place, but they are in a playoff fight because you can see that too much separates them from 2nd place Atlanta, and the Pistons far improved from a year ago. 18-6 the score. Isiah Thomas is short. The Pistons having trouble shooting from outside. Kareem had an easy time against Isiah inside.
Well, he just said, hey, Rook, my name is Kareem, and I know you forgot that I was out here, but next time, take the jumper.
Pistons are ice cold. 3 for 12 from the field as Nixon goes up and draws the foul. No basket, no basket. But Detroit can't hit the ocean right now, and Los Angeles has outscored the Pistons 14-2 since we are tied at 4. And he has been the playmaker, Norm Nixon, who will go to the line and shoot 2. The personal foul is on Hubbard, his second. 6:24 remaining in the first quarter. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell from the Forum in Los Angeles, where the Lakers have the second best record in the NBA, being pressed by Seattle, who beat Boston tonight. We'll run down all the scores for you. Tripuka inside. What a move by Kelly Tripuka. Much quicker than people give him credit for. A lot of pro scouts weren't sure about his ability. He showed them. Wilkes, what a feed. Wilkes from Magic Johnson.
I think that you could say that the Lakers are giving a first quarter clinic.
You know, they did the last time they played this club too, Bill. 43 points in the first quarter when they played in Detroit on January 9th, and now we have our first substitution coming in.
Well, that game ended up only a 3-point difference.
Close ball game. Terry Tyler, power forward. Wilkes is 5 for 5 so far.
And the thing that the pitchers have to be careful about in games like this is not to get this close. They're being greatly outplayed, but there's some ebbs and flows, and they can actually get back in this game. They're only 12 points down, although it's the first quarter. That don't help them get back in it, but they can get back in it.
This is a good test for this ball club. Isiah Thomas, Tripuka the rebound, and there you see how these two rookies operate. The ball just doesn't go in for them, and now the Lakers want to run. The strategy is get the ball to Nixon in the center of the floor. No good. Rambis fights for the loose ball. Isiah comes up with it. He out-hustled Rambis, and there is by Rambis. A 3-on-2. Magic. Going wild here in the Forum as the Lakers are playing the kind of basketball that has made them one of the top favorites in the NBA this year. A coaching change, injuries notwithstanding, the Lakers have come on. Kent Benson hitting outside. 26-12 the score now. Kent Benson once led Indiana to a national title as Isiah Thomas did last year.
Interestingly enough, with the Lakers running that hard, it's actually easier to play this type of basketball than it is if you're running a play every time.
But the Lakers are having no trouble beating the Pistons down the court. Benson left open, and Kent Benson hits again. So 3 field goals for Benson, all from outside. Thomas having his problems from the field, is 1 for 9 thus far. Coming in the ballgame now, Terry Tyler for the Pistons. He'll replace Bill Hubbard, and there's Michael Cooper. We saw him score his career-high 30 points on Christmas Day against Phoenix.
He really does a number for this Laker team, because he's an all-together new element. As a 6-man, he's one of the best defensive players in the league, and this year's proven he's very effective offensively.
Magic Johnson goes to the bench with 5 assists so far in the first quarter. Jamaal Wilkes doesn't make it, and Tripuka, he has been active even though his club is losing on both boards so far. John Long, if he gets hot, he can burn you.
And he's doing a good job playing without the ball, because Isiah Thomas, they want to have control of the ball and to take it, and for him to make these other guys play.
Good point you mentioned about how the Lakers took a big lead early in Detroit in January. Early in the month, only to see the Pistons come back and make a solid game out of it. Nixon, he's hot. Norm Nixon has 13 points. He is 5 for 5, and he opened up with 11 in a row against New Jersey on Wednesday night. Tripuka is stopped by Rambis and Kareem. Nixon again has Wilkes to his left. Here's Wilkes. Goaltending called against Kent Benson. The basket will count. And Jamaal Wilkes has 12 points. Boy, do the Lakers look good.
Now, there's a great pass behind the back, bounce pass, and Wilkes just runs that lane. It's too late.
We said at the top of the game, these clubs are at different directions and different situations now, and you can see it right here with the Lakers playing their game and outclassing the Pistons here in the first quarter with 2:45 remaining. 32-16. Michael Cooper. ball. Stolen by Cooper.
Actually stolen by Jamaal. Kareem.
Rambis
Kareem knocked it loose. Good defensive play.
Are you surprised Scotty Robertson hasn't called a timeout?
That would be a waste. At this point, the team where they're playing, you'd have to call 6.
That's a little cruel, but it's...
No, what it is that the Lakers are in such complete control of the game. One of those things to call a timeout to try to get control of the game would not be of any value at this point. So he's going to call timeouts when he has something to say to the guys.
The Lakers are going to need all of the basketball they're playing. Seattle beat Boston, and Seattle behind L.A. in the Pacific Division. San Antonio over Atlanta. Philadelphia, despite their problems, defeating Indiana tonight. And New Jersey beat Phoenix 99-97 in a surprise. Jim Brewer, number 8, has come into the ballgame along with Bob McAdoo. And that's how easy it's been for the Lakers.
Well, when you shoot layups, 75, they maybe should be shooting a little higher percentage with the shots they're getting. Now, what Scotty Robinson has to do as a coach of the Pistons is not let his guys get discouraged or get down. It's to try to find something positive for them to work on under these conditions.
Isiah Thomas hits the shot, and that's a good way to get things going back. So Bob McAdoo will tell you a little bit about him, a big name in the NBA, trying to make it back with the Lakers in the ball game along with Jim Brewer. Paul McKeskey, number 44, is in for the Pistons as Brewer knocks the ball out of bounds. So Bob McAdoo is in for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 3-time scoring champ, an MVP, 2-time All-Star Game and Rookie of the Year, and getting a shot here as a backup center, and they want him for his scoring ability. Brewer knocks the ball away, but Thomas saves it.
Good weak side defense.
And Isiah goes up, and the whistle and a foul. It'll be against the Lakers with 1:37 remaining in the first period, and Norm Nixon commits the foul, his first, and the third Laker team foul, and so Isiah goes to the line.
You know, I've noticed about these young kids with the Pistons, their attitude is very positive at this point, although, like as I said earlier, the Lakers are conducting a clinic. They are still trying to do things, and they haven't given up. And at this point, believe it or not, I don't think they're embarrassed at all about the things that have happened to them early in the game already.
One thing about Scotty Robertson's team, they have been in every game. In fact, even last year when they were the worst scoring team in the league and committed the most turnovers and won only 21 games, they battled you last year, even though they ended up on the short end of the score. So we have a minute and a half to go first period. Jamaal Wilkes looking for McAdoo, and fronting him is Tyler. They get to McAdoo nonetheless, and we will have a jump ball. So good defense by Terry Tyler, one of the best shot blocking forwards in the game.
Well, McAdoo he had the inside position, but the weak side help, and that's one of the things that the Pistons are doing is that they're trying. A lot of things aren't working, but they're trying the proper thing.
Nixon controlling outside, 34-18. Biggest lead just a few moments ago, 18 points. And now they've got it again. Jamaal Wilkes has 14, Nixon 13. Jamaal 7 for 9 from the field. He's shooting his best of the season, just over 50%. McKeskey, who's playing with an injured right elbow. John Long in and out. Normally he makes those. Brewer comes out with it, and here's Nixon. He has Cooper in the middle, and a good defensive play, and a fine play by John Long. John Long anticipated that pass beautifully and knocked the ball away. Magic Johnson is coming back in for the Lakers. 5 assists in the early going for Magic, and Norm Nixon goes out with 13 points.
Yeah, Norm Nixon has to go and soak his hands there because they're so hot they might burn up.
That's the way.
He can soak his hand in a little ice, cool him off.
5 for 5 from the field is Nixon as Brewer. To Wilkes. Tripuka is on Wilkes. Magic, McAdoo. McAdoo not quite yet in shape. He's working himself back as Ron Lee brings the ball up. Ron Lee, one of the kamikaze kids, and you'll see what kind of a hustler leads the league in floor burns in the ball game now. Inside Long, good fake on Cooper, but the ball didn't drop for the Pistons. That's been one of their problems. Magic coming back with 22 seconds to go in the quarter, and the ball is thrown out of bounds. It is still Laker ball, and Cooper will trigger it in. 36-18. It's been all L.A. here in the first quarter, and they've made it look easy.
It is easy.
When you're playing like this.
Now, it's not just that Detroit's playing bad. It's the Lakers are playing as good as you're going to see our team play.
They call an offensive foul on McAdoo. He used his elbow as they fed him inside, and so with 9 seconds to go, Detroit will inbound with Ron Lee to John Long. Thomas getting a breather right now. Tyler and McKeskey on either side of the line, and Tripuka looking to get free. Here's Kelly, and Kelly will put it up, and he's short at the buzzer. So it's been a Los Angeles quarter, decisively. The Lakers 36, the Pistons 18. We'll be back after this word from your local station.
The Laker fans, the Lakers are up.
The preceding message was furnished by the National Basketball Association. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell. The Lakers coming into this game, third in field goal percentage in the league, and they've made it happen in the first period against the Detroit Pistons, shooting 70% from the field compared to Detroit's 31%. And our statistician Marty Aronoff informs us that in fast break points, LA's been doing it, outscoring the Pistons 15-4. And don't forget, we said that the Pistons want to run in this game, and they started that way. McKeskey goes in and is fouled as Norm Nixon was behind and Magic Johnson in front. Nixon commits his second personal foul.
He has improved so much over the last 4 years that it's incredible, Norm Nixon. I watched the game Wednesday night with Jerry West, and he was saying how much he had noticed the improvement in Norm Nixon over the 4 years when West had him as a rookie.
Well, he can shoot. Obviously, he's on a real hot streak.
He does so much more than that, though.
Point guard, off guard, and he makes his own, creates his own plays.
For the Lakers, they don't have a point guard. They got two guards that both can play guard position. They can pass the ball, they can shoot the ball, they can set up plays, they can run the fast break.
I can do way off the mark. Pistons ball, and they're both all-stars.
And I'll tell you, the good teams don't have power forwards and small forwards, a point guard. They have guys that play basketball.
John Long in the lane. Detroit guards have not been clicking. They're 5 for 17 right now in the ball game, and that's where they depend on a lot of their points.
Now, the Lakers are up by 15. If the Pistons can keep them getting any worse, and if they leave at halftime only 12 or 10 points down, that won't be too bad for them.
Loose ball foul as you get panorama of Scotty Robertson in the foreground and Pat Riley in the foreground. 36-21. And you point out an interesting thing, that a lot of ball clubs, just naturally after they have a big lead,
That's a letdown.
That's right. And that's the ebb and flow that you have in NBA basketball. So things aren't always the way they are at the outset. Tripuka, nice pass from Ron Lee. Couldn't make it inside. Tyler battling for the loose ball. McAdoo comes out with it, dishes it off to Cooper. And Michael Cooper, who has his confidence in his jump shot. He is one of the best defensive guards in the league, or forwards if you want to call him that, at 6'7", and he is the top shooting guard at over 55% in the league now. Tyler to Long. Long runs in now to McAdoo and gets the basket. No charge is called, and Long gets it. Cooper on the other end. Lakers aren't wasting any time getting the ball down to their head.
They really aren't.
If the Pistons want to run, say the Lakers will oblige. Now there's the charge. I think Kelly Tripuka is learning fast.
Well, he's out here in Los Angeles, close to Hollywood. You got to do a little acting.
They call it on Magic. Charge on him. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar coming back in the ball game now, had a breather. Kareem has scored 4 points in the ball game, came in averaging over 24. Kareem with 6 rebounds when he was in there. They go low to McKeskey. It's rejected by Kareem. McKeskey into Tripuka. Rejected again by Kareem. What can you say about one of the best shot blockers in the league? And the ball comes back to the Pistons, and they put it with a 4-on-3. Ron Lee to Long. He's open. Long hits.
And he can fill it up.
Both coaches exhorting their team. And Scotty Robertson probably feels what you just expressed, that if they can get down to about 12 points or so at halftime, the Pistons could probably start anew in the second half. Kareem, open man Nixon, lost the ball as he drove baseline. 2 seconds on the shot clock, and Kareem hits from outside. He hit one in practice today, and everyone laughed. They're not laughing now.
When things go bad, they go bad. That's what Coach Scott Robinson said.
So a lead of 15 points now as we wind down to 9 minutes remaining in the half. Long takes too many steps, turns it over.
And he says, there's no reason to call that. They were just little bitty ones. I didn't go far.
The Lakers had a season-high 43 points in the first quarter in Pontiac when they played, as Magic Johnson drives the lane and gets to have a timeout. So we have a timeout here with 8 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the second period. The Pistons trying to get back in this game as they trail by 15.
Let's get you, John. Ladies and gentlemen.
Big man, the Pistons lead the league in average block shots per game, Bill.
That can be a misleading statistic about team block shots, because when you block a shot, that's the last line of defense. That means everything else is broken down.
Johnson missed the first. Kent Benson is in the ball game, replacing McKessie. Fans in Los Angeles, there's Davey Lopes of the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Want to see Isiah Thomas, and more important, their Lakers. Thomas driving, dumps it behind to Benson. Benson is tough outside, in and out. Kareem the rebound. Benson and Kareem had a big collision early in Kent Benson's career that we'll tell you about. Magic Johnson effortlessly goes all the way. He has 5 points, but he has 5 assists in the ball game, and he's done his job as a playmaker. Nixon and Magic Johnson have been the spark so far for the Lakers. In to Isiah Thomas, well positioned at the baseline. Biggest lead, 18 points for the Lakers, and they're leading 43 to 27 now.
He did a real smart thing on that last play. He shot that ball before Kareem got it. He had lost Kareem out of his vision, but by the time that Kareem saw him, he'd taken a shot.
Brewer misses outside. Ron Lee. He can burn you from three-point territory. A little early to start that. Magic. One of 3 men guarding Isiah Thomas, and Ron Lee fires away and hits. So Ron Lee from the University of Oregon hits outside. Kelly Tripuka from Notre Dame. A gamer, they call him. Getting a breather on the bench right now. He has scored 2 points on 1 field goal and 7 tries. The Pistons can start to connect on some of those field goals. They could get back in the game.
And they just made a good defensive play. They didn't get the ball, and then they threw it away. But they didn't get the ball the first try, but they stayed with it, and they made some good defensive plays to get that loose ball down there. So they're doing the right things. They just don't have enough players that can do it the whole game consistently, because one of the things that's a talent in this league is to be able to concentrate game in and game out, do it all the time you're out there. And that's the major difference between the so-so players and the good players.
Offensive foul. He didn't like Mike Matthews' call, and neither did Pat Riley, who's up. So that'll be the second foul on Rambis. They got it into Kareem. Now watch Rambis, and Benson now has to help out.
And so Rambis sees him coming now. Yeah. He says, well, you won't block this one. I may not get the basket, but you won't block it.
Pistons, as Bill has really pointed out, they won last night against San Diego, but they're on a roller coaster. The consistency is not there yet. Phil Hubbard back in the game, bumps with Johnson. They double-team Hubbard, and a 3-point attempt missed by Isiah Thomas. Rambis the rebound. Here's Magic. Inside, Cooper. Magic Johnson threading the needle, as he has since the game began. And the Lakers are up 45 to 29, 6.5 remaining in the second.
And the reason that worked so well was Norm Nixon decoyed and made the defense adjust to him coming out behind the pick. And for Cooper, they just rolled him. And so they really took advantage of the fact that Detroit was trying to play good defense.
Kelly Tripuka is going to check back in the game as that foul is called on Magic Johnson. Timeout, 45-29. It's been all L.A. so far. At halftime, a complete look at the 1982 NBA All-Star lineups and a look at some of the best rookies in the NBA, the cream of the crop. And this has been a great year for first-year players. And as Isiah Thomas, he'll be in the All-Star game. And the Lakers will have 3 from their squad, including Norm Nixon for the first time. And don't forget, we'll be at Meadowlands Arena January 31st for the NBA All-Star Game. And what a galaxy stars we'll have there. Long dumps it off nicely to Kent Benson. Long drew the defense out and found Benson going to the hoop. And the Pistons now trailing by 14 with a little more than half remaining in the second period, 6-10.
If they can just keep at this pace, they'll be all right, but that won't help.
Kareem from Magic. They're beating him inside and beating him every time out. Magic has 7 assists in the ball game now. Magic Johnson.
Take that, big guy. Come out here where the air spins.
Well, I remember when the big guy gave Benson a shot in the mouth in the first game he played, and Benson was out with a broken jaw. Johnson gets the shot inside. First game he ever played in the uniform of the Lakers, Kent Benson elbowed Kareem, and Kareem came back and gave Benson a shot. And Kent Benson was out for quite a while with a broken jaw, but bygones are bygones, I guess. And with 5:36 to go, 49-33.
You think so?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're going to see the great versatility of Magic Johnson with a pass to Kareem. And the question is, how do you stop a thing like this, Phil?
Well, first of all, this pass is coming up is a lob pass. It's passed to an area, not to a man. Now, Kareem holds the position there, and then he goes after the ball. Now, the way you stop it, the defense was slow in getting over. You have to stop it with weak side defense. The guys away from the ball have to read it, see it's coming, and get there before the ball gets there.
Kareem has 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocked shots. He is having a terrific ball game. As Tripuka inbounds to Isiah Thomas, number 11. John Long, good shot. Defending is Wilkes, and good boxing out by Magic Johnson. Johnson looking inside. Kareem wheeling around. Rambis now at the 3-point marker. Out to Nixon. Plenty of time. And Nixon fires over Isiah Thomas and misses. Long comes down. 16-point lead for the Lakers. Their largest was 18. Feed to Hubbard, who goes in with his goal. I have to give Scotty Robertson credit no matter how this game turns out. It's easy to slow up against this team. He says, our style in the future with Thomas is to run. We're going to get into that and run.
That's right, so they can pick up habits and know how to choose their own pace. You have to learn how to do that. And you can't give up on it and say, well, okay, we'll play the way these other guys, let these other guys force us to play a different way.
Kareem off the rim. He had the easy shot and just missed it. 4:25 remaining in the first half. Hubbard going in, and that's 2 in a row. So Phil Hubbard making his 4th start. And the Pistons can come within 10. Tripuka. Short. Thomas in the lane. And a hard pass to Tripuka will have a jump ball. I don't know how Kelly Tripuka on that hard pass inside by Isiah Thomas ever got control of that ball.
Well, good rebounders have what they call soft hands. In other words, when the ball's coming hard, you catch it and you give a little with it. And then you can catch anything on it.
Nixon and Thomas. They call a foul on Isiah Thomas. Mike Mathis is right there.
And that was a good defensive play he tried then. In other words, the offensive man had the initiative, and you try to take it away. And what he did was try to establish position where he thinks the guy's going to go. Didn't work that time, but the thought was there.
Nixon will go to the line. Foul is on Thomas. First personal foul, and looks like Norm's knee collided with Isiah's nose. Nixon 4 for 4 from the line now, has 14 points in the game. Scotty Robertson wishes the margin would narrow just a bit. It's not happening. Wilkes has 14. Nixon the high scorer now with 50. And Benson and Long each have 10.
And Kareem keeps introducing himself.
Tipped up and in by Magic Johnson after Kareem makes his 5th block. And the Lakers are putting on a clinic here against the Pistons, 53-37 with 3:40 remaining. Tripuka to the hoop. He can't buy it. 1 for 8 from the field for Kelly Tripuka. And a 3-on-3. Nixon stop and go. Finally controlled by Isiah Thomas. John Long wide open.
Put that away.
Pistons are shooting a bit better now, but they're not stopping the Laker fast break one whit. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the second period. It's been all Lakers. Their biggest lead, 18 points. 14 right now, and Wilkes. Thomas comes out of the pack. He has hovered and Long to his right, and it's tipped away by Johnson. Long, off balance, hits. John Long, 2 in a row.
You know, he's not a bad shooter.
He's a good shooter. That's an understatement. He's 7 for 12 for a ball club that is not shooting that well. Kareem against Benson. Rambis and Wilkes. Basket counts and a foul. They are beating him inside, and as Scotty Robertson told us earlier today, he says we need 2 big men, not just 1 but 2, and that's what we'll be looking at this year's draft.
Now, what these guys have to do that they're not doing is before they go after the rebound, they must screen out. And when you don't have the height or the good rebounders, if you screen out, you get some of your rebounds on the first bounce. But all 5 guys have to remember to screen out. They're not doing that.
The Pistons have come back 1 point to within 12 points. Couldn't narrow it to 10. Tyler outside. This is Kareem the rebound. Kareem with 8 boards so far in this first half. We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds to play. We'll look at the All-Stars and the top rookies at halftime. Johnson into Rambis. Magic Johnson is dazzling so far. He has 8 assists in the ball game and the top playmaking guard in the league.
What I'm not going to do is repeat what a great pass that was. I'm just going to say that's another one.
Well, tomorrow it's great NCAA basketball action as Ray Myers, DePaul Blue Demons take on the Blazers of the University of Alabama, Birmingham. DePaul, led by Terry Cummings, currently ranked 4th in the CBS Sports Coaches Poll. They'll have their hands full against the Blazers' leading scorer and All-American candidate, Oliver Robinson. So be courtside tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern on CBS Sports. Just part of the big weekend. World Cup skiing from Wengen, Switzerland. The Super Skates. And, of course, 2 important fights from Atlantic City, New Jersey over the weekend, and it's all capped Sunday with Super Bowl 16 from Pontiac, Michigan, and it begins with the Super Bowl today at 2:30 Eastern. Magic Johnson has had 9 games this season with double figures in points, rebounds, and assists. And we'll tell you what he's got the next time the Lakers have the ball. Short on the hook shot. Rambis comes back, and here's Magic feeding Cooper. And he can control. Magic so far has 9 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. So he's on the way to a triple-double, they call it.
Oh, a triple-double, huh? So that's real good. You didn't bite your tongue or anything. You're not bleeding. You did that good.
I am bleeding, but not from that. 58-41. John Long, he can't leave him open. He'll kill you. 15-point lead by the Lakers. Detroit is coming back on offense, but they're not stopping L.A. at all defensively.
And that's what you have to do if you're going to be a consistently winning team. You have to play good defense.
Johnson looking to Kareem. 1:25 to go in the period. Ron Lee coming back. Penetrating, baseline. Tyler misses. Tripuka goes up. Kareem says, no, I didn't. And Earl Strom said, yes, you did.
And whose word do you think we're going to take? Kareem's or Earl?
Well, if it's might makes right, it'd be Kareem, but it doesn't work that way.
A good move because, see, they made him double pump. That's what the good defense does when you guys are really good closing the middle down.
So Tripuka going the line on Kareem's first foul of the game. That's the 4th team foul on L.A., 3 on the Pistons. Tripuka makes the first. He's having a rough evening from the field. He has missed 8 straight from the floor.
When you're a rookie, there are nights like that.
Yes, they are. 58-45, 13-point lead as New Jersey with the upset win over Phoenix. They go with the stuff shot.
Now on that case, that's not the center's fault on that dunk. The weak side has to be ready, and they have to meet that ball because that pass is a pass, as I said earlier, to an area. The weak side has to open up and make sure they see the ball.
Knocked the ball away. Tripuka ran into a stone wall. Johnson to Cooper. He didn't have control. Lee lost it. Sloppy play. We've had some of that.
Away by Magic. He got a hand on that one.
Cooper and Tripuka. I tell you, Kelly Tripuka is a gamer. He's a tremendous competitor and a hustler all over the floor. 35 seconds to go in the first half. John Long with the ball has 12 points this quarter and draws the foul. So Long has kept the Pistons within some kind of range. They're down by 15.
And now is he a good shooter? He's a scorer. What I mean by a scorer is that he can make shots, so he gets free throws, and he can make shots. You know, there are a lot of guys that are good shooters, and you get them open, they'll make it. But he can also shoot when he's open, but he can make shots, and that's kind of important for a young guy. And he's one of the 3 players that the Pistons have a lot of confidence in, that can go out and they give him a good game every night.
Thomas and Tripuka, the other 2.
Right, and they're all quite young.
John Long, the leading scorer a year ago. Our team now has 17 points. He's averaging coming into this one nearly 22 points, 12th in the league. And he scored 36 against the Lakers when they met in January early on here. Kareem, Wilkes misses outside. Tyler the rebound. 20 seconds to go. They can narrow it to 12 points, and we talked about that. Detroit calls a timeout with 13 seconds. Now Tripuka, this is probably a 20-second. Don't forget, tomorrow CBS Sports brings you great lightweight boxing action when Ray Boom Boom Mancini continues his quest for the championship, taking on tough Julio Valdez. Also featured highlights of the Los Angeles Invitational Track Meet and reports on Super Bowl 16. So it's all here tomorrow at 4:30, 3:30 Central on CBS Sports Saturday.
John, you slide down and play his spot.
Green, safety, denying everything, especially Tripuka and Long the ball, okay? Buckeye, Ronnie Lee, and Barrison. Tell him kicks the ball up in your shoulder. Take away the pass.
Kareem has 6 blocked shots. His season's high is 7. But the Pistons are within 14 points. Let's pick up Scotty Robinson.
One way we'll screen down for I, and one way for John. Okay? Now let's try to go into it with... I'll tell you what let's do. Let's enter opposite. Let's enter to Benny, okay? Which he'll have you set the screen down, okay? And the reason is, if Kareem drops off to help Benny, you shoot it. If he's out there playing you, and whichever one of you comes off, T, you post up down there. Now let's try to go into it with around 8. Yeah, okay? All right, come on.
8 seconds remaining. There are 13 on the clock. Long with 17, Benson with 10 are the only double-figure scorers for the Pistons. Wilkes has 17 and Nixon 15, but Kareem has a bundle of blocked shots, and Magic Johnson 6 to be exact, and Magic Johnson has 8 assists in the ball game. Make it 9. So Ron Lee will inbound. We'll pick it up with 13 seconds, and you heard Scotty Robinson with 8. They'll start to make the play go. And we'll keep you apprised as when they get to 8. They're now at 8 seconds, as you can see. Benson outside, Kareem meeting him. 6 seconds to go. In the corner to Thomas, fires a long shot, no good. Kareem the rebound at the end of the first half.
Well, they're not in real bad shape. They hope to get it down to 10. They got down to 14. After the Lakers got off that blew them out the first quarter, they've been playing fairly close to them. And so they got a good shot the second half. Now, it's going to be real important that when they start the second half, that they don't let the Lakers get off the same way they got off the first of the game.
They had an 18-point lead. It's now 14, so Detroit came back. Big man. He'll rebound a couple, right? And George Iceman Gervin, San Antonio in first place. He's a leading scorer in the league. George Gervin and Gus Williams at guard.
With those 2 guys in the backcourt, there's not going to be a lot of shots left, I can tell you that.
Pat Riley didn't start the season as a head coach, but he's going to be coaching the West All-Stars. Now you're looking at the rest.
He's in the right place at the right time.
Moncrief and Michael Ray Richardson, backup guards on the Eastern squad. At forward, Bobby Jones and Dan Roundfield. Roundfield's having a good year.
He has a good year every year.
We have a rookie coming up, Buck Williams of the New Jersey Nets.
He's going to play in a lot of All-Star games.
Lanier and Parrish, 2 solid centers.
Yeah.
Western guards. You love Nixon, I know that, and Magic.
Yeah, that's a pretty good guard combination right there.
You're seeing him tonight. Cream of the crop, the top rookies in the NBA as we approach midseason, and we open up with the Pistons' fine duo of Kelly Tripuka and Isiah Thomas.
Kelly Tripuka, the 12th man picked in the last draft. He's the second leading scorer and third leading rebounder on the Detroit Pistons. A hard-working forward. He likes to think of himself as a millionaire blue-collar worker.
A blue-collar worker is somebody who goes up and rolls up his sleeves and come out and give 110% every time he's out on the court as a basketball player. Someone that's going to do all the things for you, not just one thing. He hustles, he dives for loose balls, he gets dirty, and he likes to play the game. And that's more or less the type of player that I want to be, the type of player I want to be known as. And as long as I'm giving 110% and being involved in everything, and I'm doing my job.
Very heady basketball player, and he's given great responsibilities night in and night out, playing people like Larry Bird and Julius Erving every night, and I think he's done a great job.
But what a gem Isiah Thomas has been. The second player picked in the NBA draft. He's the third leading scorer on the Pistons, but that's not the point. He leads the team in assists and has really risen the level of the ball club. There was some controversy. He thought that he should be scoring more. Scotty Robertson said he'd be better as a playmaker, and Isiah denied any controversy.
I think the media kind of got excited because of the Magic Johnson thing just had happened, and I think they wanted more controversy, and they was just trying to make something that really was nothing.
Hard to believe there'd be any controversy with a guy who loves to play the game so much like Isiah Thomas, who shows it on his face, and as he impressed other coaches around the league.
Isiah Thomas is probably one of the better point guards to ever come in the league. The reason I think Detroit's been so successful thus far is because of his leadership and unselfish play.
And Larry Brown has a young man that gives him some leadership. Buck Williams, number 52. The third leading rebounder in the league. And a young man that's working at learning his craft. Now, there are nights when things don't go well, even for the best of the rookies. But on other nights, it works.
He's a player that knows what his abilities are, his strengths, and he doesn't try to play outside of that range. He's a very effective player down low. He works very hard defensively, and we've been very impressed with him as a strong forward in this league.
Buck Williams is a bona fide power forward in our league. He's doing a great job for New Jersey. Besides getting the rebounds that everyone thought that he would, he's scoring very well for them also.
And deep in the heart of Texas, there's Mark Aguirre, the #1 player picked in the league, who, though he's injured, one of a fine crop of rookies on Dallas.
Aguirre's a great all-around player, really a great scorer. Jay Vincent's been a tremendous surprise to Dallas. He's really come into his own since Aguirre's been injured, and he's played the power forward. They also have a kid named Elston Turner from Mississippi, who they've tried to convert into a point guard, has done very well. And one of my favorites, Rolando Blackman.
But with Aguirre injured, more and more, Jay Benson is in the spotlight in Dallas, and he has made the most of it.
Now that Mark is out, I think the team has really more or less tried to pull together and pick up. And, of course, myself, I'm trying to score more. So it's a blessing in disguise, and I'm really beginning to show my potential.
And another young man living up to his potential, Jeff Rulin out of Iona College. Second in team in scoring and rebounding. He does some of his best work on the inside.
He gives us as much of a problem down low when he gets the basketball as any player. Very similar to Buck Williams in the regards that he knows what he has the ability to do, and he does it. He does it very well. He does a great job getting to the offensive boards, posting up, and they get him the basketball in the positions that he's very effective.
While Ruland has made Washington a surprise team, Herb Williams from Ohio State has done the same with the Indiana Pacers. They wanted the 6'10 power forward for beef up front, and he has given them that, plus the good outside shot. But he's learning the ropes against some of the big tough guys in the NBA, as many of the rookies have this year.
Even the San Diego Clippers have a bright spot, Tom Chambers. But he feels he still has a lot to learn.
Everybody I go up against is has really good talent, and their bodies are so big and they're physically strong. And the physical game, it's really tough. There's a lot of pushing and shoving, and you have to be a much stronger player in the pros than you did in college.
And some other distinguished rookies, Peter Verhoeven and Darnell Valentine of Portland, Albert King of the New Jersey Nets, and Alton Lister of Milwaukee.
Now, the veterans have had time to see them play. Teams can adjust, know what their strengths and weaknesses are. Now they're going to have to deal with a very long season, and we'll see how they stand up under the long season of the NBA.
So here at halftime, the score is 60-46 Los Angeles. Halftime statistics reflect the score. L.A. Look at what they're doing. 57-38 in shooting, 31-21 rebounds, and so on down the line. The big thing, Bill Russell, is that Detroit relies so much on the rookies Tripuka and Isiah Thomas. They are combined 4 for 24 from the field, first half.
Well, they didn't have the best half you could have shooting, but they are doing something that I think is very good, in that no matter how bad things are going, you keep trying to do the things you do best. You can't stop shooting if you're going to be a scorer. See, as I said earlier about the difference between a scorer and a shooter, scorer has to get to points for his team, and he has to find a way to do it, and he has to keep putting the ball up there. There are going to be nights when he can't hit the ocean, but he's got to keep doing it because they're depending on him.
But, Bill, the big thing the Pistons have to worry about is defense. They have not been able to defend the break well. They've had trouble inside, and I think that has to be their top priority.
Well, they adjusted a little bit on the break so that the Lakers didn't get as many fast breaks the second quarter as they did the first quarter. But they have not adjusted as well playing defense on the front line. And the big weakness they've shown is that the offside or the weak side has been late getting there on the lob passes.
All right, the scoring leaders for Los Angeles: Wilkes 17, Nixon 15, and Kareem has 10. For the Pistons, Long 17, 12 coming in that second quarter, and Benson has 10. As we're underway in the third quarter, inside to Kent Benson, who hits that shot inside over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So Benson now has 12 and a 12-point deficit. Pistons narrowed it to 12. The biggest L.A. lead was 18, and they couldn't get it to within 10. Now they do have a chance on a turnover. John Long down the middle. Long takes it to the hoop, and now the Pistons
super play.
Are within 10 points.
That was a good defense on the other end. Now, this is the most important time of the game for the Pistons.
Nixon misses and Hubbard rebounds. This is where they're going to grow, right here, right? Benson outside. This is the shot. Isiah Thomas with a follow-up.
6 straight points. Now, this is very important. Now, they're back in this ball game right now. Now, what they got to do the next 4 or 5 minutes is make sure that they stay in the ball game. And now that the Lakers started their fast break again or work it inside. Now, what they've managed to do inside is they're getting weak side help because Benson can't stop Kareem. But he can make him hesitate with the ball or put it on the floor, and then he can get help.
As Bill said, Detroit's back in it.
Here's the ball. Here's the wing. Here's the wing. Defense.
Quick timeout by the Lakers. What do they have to do here, Bill?
Well, they've got to execute now. They've got to run their plays, which they do quite well, and they got to get their fast break started. This is a critical time for them, too, because they can have a very long evening if they let Detroit keep the pressure on him.
Rambis fighting Isiah Thomas. Loose ball, and Isiah can't hold it. It's still Laker ball, but that's great hustle. Isiah Thomas now becoming a factor in the game with 8 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. L.A. has committed 13 turnovers to Detroit's 8, which says something.
Now, what is happening, that doesn't help the skyhook, but what's happening is the Lakers are if Detroit can keep going now,
and they're like that,
then they'll begin to believe they can win the game. And that'll make it really hard for the Lakers to fight them off.
So Isiah Thomas continuing his superb play, has 10 points in the ball game. Norm Nixon guarded by Thomas. No foul called, and Nixon hits the jumper. It's another area where Nixon has grown. He's taking the matter into his own hands. Clutch shot for him, and that's important here for the Lakers because their 18-point lead was knocked down to 8. It's up to 10 right now. Nearly 2 minutes gone in the third quarter. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell from the foreign. The upstart Pistons against the high-flying Lakers. Benson was way off on that outside shot, and the Lakers come down with it.
Well, if you saw what he saw, you would have been off too.
Wilkes goes in with the layup. So now the Lakers come back with 4 points.
And that's one of the things that Lakers do so well. When you make a mistake, they make you pay for it right away.
9 for 15 for Jamaal. Kareem with 9 rebounds led in the first half. He also had 6 block shots. Magic had 9. Now that was a bad shot by Long. Off the glass, not even close.
And so what happens is, this is one of the things that hurts a team like this. They'll get a little anxious and over-anxious. They'll take a shot because they feel they got to make it.
Magic misses inside. Rambis tried to tip it inside. Where I was talking about the 9, and that's 9 assists by Magic Johnson. Long taking Nixon to the hoop. Rejected out of bounds by Kareem, and that is his 7th block shot, which matches his season's high.
One of the great things about this Laker team now is that Kareem can spend a lot more energy playing defense because they're not depending on him offensively nearly as much as they had before. And this is one of the things that was brought out while he was injured and missed those games, that they can get the points. And he may have decided to adjust his game so much that he can play a little better, a little stronger defense because they don't depend on him so much offensively.
Hubbard commits the foul. And Magic Johnson will go to the line on a good feed in there. Magic, of course, was the top scorer over the 7 games that Kareem was out. So there's always someone to pick up the slack for the Lakers.
Right, they got some great versatility. There's not one guy that you can depend on. If you stop him, that you stop that team. It's like trying to hold water in your hands.
1 of 2 for Magic, has 10 points in the ball game. Thomas, stop and go move. Look at that feed to Tripuka. Couldn't put it in, however. That's what the Pistons hope to build their future on. Nixon to Johnson the other way. Coming back with a vengeance. That was 2 the Pistons didn't get, and 2 they allowed the Lakers to get at the other end. A 4-point, 8:35 remaining. Third period. And a 13-point Laker lead. How quickly they can open it up again. Feeding inside of Tripuka, taken away. Jamaal Wilkes.
Now, he made a couple of attempts at passes in there that didn't work.
Steal again by Hubbard. And off long. And right now...
But he has to keep trying to make that pass. That's what he's got to do. Those passes, they didn't work, but you got to make those kind of passes if you're going to run a ball club, you're going to run the offense. Now, they still have to be a little more careful with the ball now because they're running, and the Lakers are starting to pick up the tempo a little bit.
Lakers have outscored the Pistons 7-2. They maintain possession here. Lakers have won their last 6 games over Detroit and steps in against Kareem. Kareem really upset at this call.
I don't think he thought that was steps.
So the Pistons trying to maintain their composure. They were down by 18, cut it to 8. Now it's 13 again. Under 8 minutes remaining, third period. Benson facing the hoop. Didn't have control in his foul. So that'll be Kareem's 3rd personal foul. So Benson really making Kareem work out there, to Benson's credit, even though he's probably an undersized, in many respects, big man. 6'9".
That's where I was the last time I measured.
That was junior year at USF, wasn't it?
That's right. After that, I was too big to let anybody measure me. This is how tall you are. You got to take my word for it.
69-57, a 12-point Laker lead, 7:45 remaining. Third period. Kareem fouled by Benson from behind.
I guess Kareem's ankle's all right now.
Little excess energy there. Benson's foul is his 3rd. Former Milwaukee Buck in his 5th year, averaging more than 12.5 points a game. So we have a timeout. The Lakers had their lead cut to 8. It's right now 12 with 7:41 remaining in the 3rd. To note the passing of one of the founders of the National Basketball Association, Ned Irish, who was president of Madison Square Garden, the New York Knickerbockers, along with Eddie Gottlieb and Danny Biasone from Syracuse, one of the originals, the founding fathers of the National Basketball Association. And our sympathies to the family of Ned Irish, who passed away yesterday at the age of 76 in Venice, Florida. Kareem gets the bucket and the foul as well. He now has 14 points, and Hubbard is wondering what he did.
No, they call it on Kent Benson, I believe. There's just a little bump and a little nudge. Kareem shoots left-handed.
Foul is on Benson. You're right, 4. On him as Kareem completes the 3-point play. 15-point lead for the Lakers, so they're getting ready to match their biggest lead of 18 as Isiah passes it in the crowd. It's picked off by Magic Johnson. 3-on-2 with Magic in the center. And Johnson now has 10 assists in the ball game. Wilkes has 21 points, and keep in mind that when Wilkes or Nixon has led the Lakers in scoring, they have gone undefeated. They have not lost when either Wilkes or Nixon led them in scoring, and right now Wilkes has 21 and Nixon 17, the top 2 scorers. Detroit coming back with Hubbard's 8 point.
That's not it. This Detroit team won't quit, I can tell you that.
Norm Nixon for the offensive foul. Well, that was the case last year. Again, we've got to tell you, they committed more turnovers than anyone. They were the worst scoring team, and yet they battled teams to the end, and they've been doing it this year.
Now, when they, part of the first half, John Long was getting wide open for shots, and the Lakers have adjusted their defense so that they're making him have to work more with the ball rather than work without the ball.
McKeskey has come in the ball game, and Nixon wind up on the floor, and Thomas with the shot blocked by Rambis, who gets the pass out to Nixon, who gets it to Johnson, whose basket counts, and a foul, too. Just a simple case of the Lakers outclassing the Pistons, who came close early here with the first 6 points of this third period, but then the Lakers have awakened again and are running away with it.
Now here comes Isiah. He gets Kareem out there and gets him out of the way, but then he gets in there and Rambis is in there waiting.
Nixon 9 assists in the game, and you saw Rambis and what he has done. It was a week ago, Friday, last week against Indiana, that Rambis did the things to earn him the starting spot at power forward. He has 10 rebounds and 3 block shots in this game, and McKeskey is found.
One of the amazing things about this Lakers team is they have 2 guys in the top 10 in assists, in Magic Johnson and Norm Nixon. They both are averaging over 7 assists a game, which is unusual for 2 guys on one team to have that many assists.
And you were looking at Kurt Rambis, and Michael Cooper has come in replacing Norm Nixon. Nixon goes out with 17 points, but he also is saddled with 4 personal fouls. Thomas misses from the corner, and the rebound is by Rambis. Rambis passing inside. What a pass. Rambis to Jamaal Wilkes. Now you know why he has won the power forward spot with Landsberger on, or I should say Kupchak on the bench. Landsberger had a shot. Brewer had been in there starting at both center when Kareem was out, and at power forward they double-team John Long. Still dribbles and goes to the hoop with it. Little out of control. 3-on-1. Cooper, 4-on-1. Johnson, Magic himself. 17 for Magic Johnson. 81-59. 22-point lead. Biggest lead of the ball game. With 5.5 to play. The alley-oop doesn't make it. The rejection by McKeskey. It's freewheeling clinic time for the Lakers, but as Bill Russell said, the Pistons are not about to quit, as Hubbard on a fine dish-off from Isiah.
Those are things that you learn when you can shoot it and when you have to pass it off. And what happens, the difference between this and college is that there are more guys that can block shots and close down the middle on you.
Kareem feeding inside to Johnson. And a foul called on John Long of Detroit. Now we have some substitutions coming in. Alan Hardy, number 24. In his second year from Michigan. There's Terry Tyler coming in, and a whole host of new people in there, including Vinnie Johnson. There's Johnson, there's Tyler. So Tyler is in along with Ron Lee. Vinnie Johnson acquired from Seattle for Greg Kelser. And Alan Hardy, who played with the Lakers last year. Here's Alan Hardy, who was a backup to Wilkes, a small forward on the Lakers a year ago, and was the last cut by the team, and was playing at the Continental Basketball Association.
Some very useful information there, Dick.
Right at our fingertips. 83-61 matches the biggest lead of the game for the Lakers. 22 points. Under 5 minutes to play, third quarter. Vinnie Johnson, who can shoot, does just that. Boy, he's built like a fullback, isn't he, Vinnie Johnson?
No. Fullbacks have to be a little bigger than that.
You're terrible. Au contraire. You got to say those things by saying au contraire. Alan Hardy coming back to Ron Lee. Vinnie Johnson. He can shoot, can he? He's built like a fullback.
Which comes first?
83-65. 4:10 remaining. Third.
Go get him.
Magic. And the ball goes. He got hit in the mouth to boot, so that was a hard-earned 2 points.
Maybe I wish I'd have passed that one off.
Alan Hardy double team. Tries to get the ball to McKeskey, and the ball coming down instead to Magic Johnson. Rambis, McAdoo, who's come in for Kareem, and the foul. So Bob McAdoo seeing some action, and Pat Riley getting a chance to use everyone, including Mike McGee, the #1 draft choice, who has just come in replacing Jamaal Wilkes. Wilkes goes out with 23. So number 40, Mike McGee, who was the leading scorer in the Big Ten and the first-round draft choice from Michigan, had a season's high of 27 against San Diego, and that was the first time in over 340 games that someone other than a starter led the Lakers in scoring. We said it, it's right. 86-65, 3:35 to go. Basket counts on Terry Tyler's shot and the foul on McAdoo's. And Brewer's going to come in now for the Lakers. And so Pat Riley giving everyone a rest. So Jimmy Brewer, the veteran, coming in, and a hand for Kurt Rambis. So Kurt Rambis, the rookie free agent from Santa Clara, dropped by the Knicks, played in Athens, Greece, 5 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 block shots in a pretty good night's work, Bill.
Not bad.
Tyler shooting. Magic, by the way, has his triple-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. And he's still out there, and he has the ball. 10th time this year for Magic Johnson, and he adds to his scoring of 23 points. He likes to play a lot as you look at the Isiah Thomas and Scotty Robertson. Not much the Pistons can do here. They made their big run at the start of this third quarter.
And then they kind of ran out of gas a little bit. Actually, the Lakers picked up the pace is what happened.
And the Pistons made some of those young mistakes, inexperienced mistakes. McAdoo coming down, called for another offensive foul. So that'll be an offensive foul, and Ron Lee knows how to take those charges. Out of Lexington, Massachusetts High School and the University of Oregon, a kamikaze kid, Ron Lee. We have a timeout and a big lead, 20-point lead for L.A. L.A. and Detroit amongst the top 5 in rebounds per game. But look at this game. 44-26. Tells the story a little bit, doesn't it?
Almost seems like a mismatch.
I'm going to ask you now, put you a little bit on the spot. I know they can do it. What are the chances of the Pistons getting back?
I'd rather not say at this point, if you don't mind.
You mean slim?
Well, you know, actually, all of the 20-point games, I find it interesting. These guys have to be careful. I say careful in that they have to keep doing the things that are good. They keep doing it. Although it's not working out for them, because as they get better players, they fit in and the thing will work. But you can't just give up and stop doing things you do well because it's not working out.
Ken Benson with the jump shot, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about in the fourth quarter as Bill will analyze the things the Pistons are doing well, though they're behind in the things that they're not doing so well. As we enjoy the Lakers. And what has been a runaway at this point, Magic Johnson. Detroit was down by 18 in the first half, cut the lead to 62-54, but they have Lakers have outscored the Pistons by a wide margin at a 22-point lead, which is now 20. It was 19-5 when they went to work again. Under 2 minutes to play, third period. Benson to Terry Tyler misses the shot. Pistons got into a hole early when they just couldn't buy a basket. And that included the people they're relying on, the rookies Tripuka and Isiah Thomas. Tipping it up is Brewer. He's in there. Pounding the offensive boards. Cooper at midcourt saves it. Cooper and Johnson in the backcourt. McGee up front with Brewer and McAdoo. Although I would have to think that Johnson, while he's outside, is more of a forward. They call an offensive foul.
Well, he did kind of go through the line a little bit there and put his shoulder down and then did it active.
Cooper commits his first foul. Magic has 16 points here in this quarter, has 25 in the game. And there's Alan Hardy coming back against his former team as Kareem on the sidelines with Eddie Jordan, who hasn't played. Jordan was hurt. He has a bruised hand, suffered in the first half against New Jersey. Otherwise, you would have seen him earlier. Against Ron Lee. Ron Lee's trying to gain a charge. And they call a hold. Ron Lee he must love hitting the floor, Bill.
Well, yeah, he plays a little with little abandon, and he bumps and shoves and everything.
He likes hitting the hardwood, doesn't he?
Well, what he does is he makes you aware that he's out there, so that no matter where you are, you wonder, is he coming? Is he going to hit me?
You know, against San Diego, they were looking for him, and they couldn't find him, and he helped against that kind of team. This is a more experienced club. So Magic is on the line with 24 points, and Ron Lee committed his first foul. You'll see Magic Johnson in the All-Star game a week from Sunday from Meadowlands Arena. Wasn't there last year because of his injury that caused him to miss over 40 games. He made it in his rookie year. 91-72, 45 seconds to go third quarter. Gambling for the steal is McGee. Lee going to the hoop. Magic knocked away by Lee from behind. Saves the ball and winds up on his belly. If you want a guy to entertain the crowd at this point, with the team down 91-72, Ron Lee may be doing just that.
Well, he goes after the ball wherever it is.
Look at this one. Brewer with 18 seconds. Cooper is short. Benson the rebound. Hey, Detroit is playing as hard now as they did at the top of the game. And they're way behind. Credit to Scotty Robertson and what he's trying to build. Playing for the last shot now. Looking for the three. It wasn't a three-pointer. It was Ron Lee from outside. That's the end of the third quarter. The score, Lakers 91, Pistons 74. Back with the start of the fourth quarter after this word from your local station.
This is how they do it. The difference, they have multiple sclerosis, the often disabling neurological disease. MS can not only slow down your game, but also your career and your family life. Just when you're starting to live, MS can strike. There's no cure, but there is hope through research. Please help. Let's build up a big score against MS.
The preceding message has been furnished as a public service by the National Basketball Association.
Dick Stockton and Bill Russell here at the Forum in Inglewood with Los Angeles commanding in front 91-74, and Pat Riley just told his team, don't foul early, just limit them to one shot and keep playing your game. But he's got some other people that we're going to see, and at least he'll have a chance to play some of his bench.
Yes, this would be a good chance for some of the guys to get in to play, because you never can tell in this league when you're going to have injuries, and guys are going to be out and miss games, and you'll be depending on them at a time when it may be crucial. So if they have, the more experience they have, the better off you are, and the better shape they're in, the better off you are.
Of course, we've already seen the need for someone like Rambis, who didn't play early in the season, to be in the action with Kupchak out of there, and we have Brewer in action right now. McGee could come in handy as Cooper hits outside, and Brewer fights. And I'll tell you the one thing about Jimmy Brewer is that he almost found himself without a job under the previous coach, and he's come out and has a specific role now.
Yes, he's helped the team. He doesn't throw the ball away. He works hard on defense, and he pounds the boards. He's not a good shooter, but he never hurts the team by making real bad mistakes. He doesn't do anything dumb, is what I'm saying.
Comes in handy. Brewer, Cooper, alertly goes back to Magic. He throws the ball in the crowd. Magic was trying to get in there, and it's going to be Detroit ball. Detroit coming out now with Jeff Judkins, former member of the Boston Celtics, number 22, with Vinnie Johnson, number 15, Alan Hardy, 24, Terry Tyler, 41, and Paul McKeskey, 41. Many of these names strangers to those of you who aren't familiar with the Detroit Ball Club, but they worked that play nicely to McKeskey.
That was an excellent pass by Vinnie Johnson, but those big guys will make you learn to pass.
Opening minutes here. So McKeskey has 3 points. Scotty Robertson also going to his bench as Kareem goes with the sky hook from the baseline that we've seen countless times.
You know, I talked to Pat Riley, and he said that when he played against Kareem in high school, he used that sky hook. So he's had that sky hook for a long time.
That's the trademark for Kareem. Magic Johnson misses. Going down the lane. They shuffle it out now to Hardy. Vinnie Johnson from Brooklyn, New York, and the Seattle Sonics.
He played down in Texas in college, didn't he?
Baylor. That's right.
That's in Texas.
Waco.
See?
Texas. You got to know geography of this game. Mike McGee, all-time leading Big Ten scorer, 4 years. Here's the trademark of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Now this is a skyhook. Gives it a fake. There, that release at the top of the jump.
That's Kareem's stock and trade, and while Pat Riley is seeing some of the players off the bench, he's not ignoring some of his starters as Norm Nixon has come in the ball game. Vinnie Johnson had a couple of shots at the hoop, and Detroit crashing the boards coming out with the ball. They're down 93-78, 2 minutes gone by in this fourth and final period. Judkins drives the baseline. Hardy in good position until Kareem got his hands on it. Another rejection by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his season's high of 8. Michael Cooper to the hoop. Judkins waited to the last minute. But the Lakers get the loose ball. Wilkes came in with Nixon, and they finally were out of bounds, or they call a foul. Call a foul on Michael Cooper, I believe, and that is his second personal foul, although that really is not a factor. Team fouls and personal is not a factor at this point, and the crowd did not like the call on Michael Cooper. They're ornery right now, but basically they've been having a good time.
See, that's upset in California.
That's
other
right.
places
They got
really
upset.
screaming.
All right, we got a timeout. Back in a second. Magic Johnson with 26, his season's high 40 against Detroit. He has 15 rebounds, his season's high 16, and he has 10 assists as well.
Now, what the Lakers have to be careful, they have a 15-point lead, and if Detroit scores now, it's only 13. They have to be careful now that they don't get so that they lose their rhythm.
Detroit comes so close. Benson missed outside. He is a fine outside shooter as the starting 5 back in there now for the Pistons. Michael Cooper throws it up wildly and Hubbard, and Rambis goes forward, and Rambis saves it. Cooper goes to the hoop and is fouled by Phil Hubbard. But this Kurt Rambis is really entertaining the crowd, not so much in his flamboyant a manner as Ron Lee of Detroit, but he has really made the most of his chances. Rambis with 13 rebounds in this game. Cooper with another shot.
Ball's in three. In play.
Just under 9 minutes remaining in this fourth period. Lakers have led from the start, had an 18-point lead at the half. Pistons came back with 3 hoops, narrowed it to 8 points early in the third period, and then the Lakers went from there to open it up to 22. Detroit trying to stage another comeback right here. Long contact, but nothing called, and he misses. Detroit misses the inopportune time to takes it all the way, and a foul too.
That's tough. Yeah, here's a guy that's a good outside shooter, and he can go to the hoop, and he's a good passer. So when he goes down there, he really dictates to the defense. Sometimes with a guy like that coming, you try to make him do things. Now, for example, on this, what you might overdo is overplay to his right, so they make him have to pass to his left, and maybe there's some help over there if there are 2 guys back. So this is one of the things that in playing defense, you have to learn to work together, mostly 2-on-2. And then the weak side can help out on the other side.
Ellie Tripuka inside, blocked by Kareem. Tyler goes up and he scores. He argued well over Kareem. So Terry Tyler gets the bucket and an 18-point lead. Leading scorer Long with 19. Benson has 15. Hubbard has 10. Isiah Thomas 10. That basket's going to count, and another 3-point play possibility. 22 points for Norm Nixon. Let's look at it from the end zone look.
Gives him a good side motion, gets him out of position, and goes right down the middle. Now, see, the reaction by the center was too slow. In other words, the center was flexed and open, so he sees his man in the ball. When this happens, he could give a fake and still go back to his man, or he can block the shot, but he has to move quicker. He has to react quicker.
Nixon made the foul shot, the 3-point play to give him 23 in the game, another turnover. Nixon's season's high is 28, but this is going to be Wilkes, who has the shot blocked nicely by Terry Tyler, who's amongst the best in the league for forward blocking shots. Coming back, Isiah Thomas. Benson has it. John Long. They guard him closely. Cooper. 7 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in this fourth period. All Los Angeles. It's 101 to 80.
Rambis got his hands on that.
Kareem, by the way, has 9 block shots. The season's high for him. And he's really settled into himself and perhaps the most assured he's ever been in many respects.
Yes, he's playing. What happened, one of the good things that came out of the fact that he got hurt and missed some games is that he can be confident in the type of things he does for a team can alter. You know, and like tonight, he's closing the middle down. If he does that, they're going to be just really tough to beat.
59-31, the rebounding edge for Los Angeles. The story is told right there. Norm Nixon getting the ball back, gets it again, baseline, spins it out to Kurt Rambis. Goaltending called against Harry Tyler. The basket will count for Rambis, who's become a big favorite here in Los Angeles. Rambis averaging just 2.5 points a game coming into this one, has 7 in the ball game. Nixon has 10 assists in his own right. John Long got 3 in the lead. 103-84 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go, fourth period. Good defensive play, fine defensive play. 2-on-1, Thomas to Long, and it's John Long. What should Isiah do there?
He did the right thing, pull up.
Rambis blocked the last one, and it's Jamaal Wilkes on the tip, 25 points. So Wilkes is 25, Magic 26, Nixon 23. Leading scorers for Los Angeles. They have not lost all year when either Wilkes or Nixon led them in scoring.
Slight break
by Long, and they'll call a foul on loose ball foul on Terry Tyler, charging to Rambis.
It wasn't a big brick. Now, this looks like the Super Bowl preview. These guys are going for the long pass.
We may be seeing a lot of those long passes on Sunday. The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. The candidate Oliver Robertson be courtside tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern on CBS Sports.
You know, looking, Tripuka is shooting 1 for 12, and Thomas is 6 for 20. Now he says, boy, they have a terrible night. What happens to young guys is that they play against the guys they're playing against, and they create such problems defensively and what they're doing to them that you don't have a chance to concentrate on what you do because you spend the game trying to catch up or reacting to what they're doing to you.
Kareem's been doing a lot to him tonight as he blocks the shot. That's his 10th block shot of the game. So as Bill mentioned, between the two of them, Tripuka and Thomas is shooting 7 for 32. Pretty tough to win with that, but Isiah does have 11 assists. He's a rookie, and he'll be in the All-Star game a week from Sunday on CBS. Long feeding nicely to Benson. Good feed from Long.
Good pass and a good shot by Benson.
5:25 remaining, fourth period. The Detroit Pistons coming into this ball game 17-24. Rambis on the feed is fouled by Tyler. Pistons last year won only 21 games. They have 17 in the books right now, and this is the first game of the second half of their year.
And that's one of the real assets of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Because the guys just get around him whenever he gets the ball, he's an excellent passer. Because that last pass, although the shot was, the shooter was fouled, he put that ball right there in the chest high, right so the guy can take it and shoot it. See, one of the keys to a good pass for the guy on the move is to get it so that he can catch it right in stride and do something with it.
Kurt Rambis, everything they do, he does here, they love. He has 9 points in the ball game. Tripuka. John Long. And Long hits the bucket. So John Long, who had his best quarter, the second with 12, now has 25 points in the ball game, which is nearly 4 points better than a season's average. Cooper comes back, and the rebound by Isiah. Here he comes. He's only 20 years old. He's got a lot to learn to Scotty Robertson, but he has drawn the fans. Detroit's attendance is up 108%, and the league attendance is up solidly. Wherever you go, you see a lot of 20,000.
Well, these young guys have really contributed to their teams, and they're excited. There are a lot of exciting young players. Like, you know that Isiah is going to be just an outstanding player, and you can see just a well-coached young man, too. I think that Bobby Knight at Indiana, that's one thing he does. He gives his players sound fundamentals. And then those kind of players that come in, they don't have great ability, but good sound fundamentals can help a team right away.
Magic Johnson comes back in for Norm Nixon to add to his already brilliant game. By the way, John Long hit that last basket for 27 points, and Mark Landsberger, the bull in the china shop, who started his career with Chicago and was with Chicago when Scotty Robertson was an assistant there. And he shouldn't be taking any shots, but boy, he can muscle underneath. Isiah to the hoop. There he goes. Isiah Thomas with 14 points in the ball game. He's averaging nearly 18 on the year. 109-94 with 3:45 to go. 15-point lead. Wilkes is way off. Rambis saves it to Landsberger. The rebound, Benson. Out to Tripuka. All alone. Kelly Tripuka, whose dad was a great quarterback at Notre Dame and with the Detroit Lions, comes from a great athletic family. 2 for 13 from the field. Not one of his better games, certainly, but I'll tell you one thing. He was active at both boards and has been up and down that court all night.
Well, those are things that a guy has to do if he's going to play in the league, especially the rookie. Like I said, there are nights when nothing seems to go right. But you got to keep doing the things that you do well, even if they're not working. You just keep doing. You go right through the same play. You take your shot the same way. You try to keep doing the same thing. And the more you do it, the more consistent you'll get, and more often it'll work for you.
And you just saw Kurt Rambis with a career-high 15 rebounds. And when you talk about people... Last year, Detroit turned over the ball more than anyone in the league. They're right up there right now. And if you looked at the turnovers of this game between Los Angeles and Detroit, you may say, well, Detroit very much is in this game. But that's not the case. With 3:20 to play, 109-96. The Lakers came out strong as Detroit hit a cold spot, and the Lakers in prime in their running game. They had played a near flawless ball game, slipped a little bit, and an 18-point lead was cut to 8 and up to 22, and that's been the story. Cooper with 8 points. Going to watch Kelly Tripuka in action. A lot of scouts downgraded him after his poor showing in the Olympic trials, but he came back and some postseason all-star games. The foul is called here on Michael Cooper. Another whistle. Mike McGee from Michigan. Pat Riley's not giving up on, even though he's off to a slow start in his pro career. Some people come on a little later than others. By Magic. Magic down the middle, beating Mark Landsberger.
And he didn't get it blocked. He gets a lot of his shots blocked, so I don't know if you know that, Dave.
Doesn't get really up there, huh? Tripuka long in the lane. John Long. 29 points for John. He had 36 against the Lakers in their previous meeting.
And he said, what's the record in this place?
He's shooting for it. Offensive foul called against Mike McGee. His second personal.
Who's guarding me?
Long has been interesting tonight. He has hit some great shots and then has thrown some terrible shots up there.
Well, if you're a scorer, that happens.
Tripuka loses the ball that time to Rambis. Now Magic. Trailing Cooper. McGee. And Mike McGee scores. So Brewer is the only one in the ball game who has played for the Lakers who has not scored. Landsberger and McGee each have a bucket. McAdoo has 1 point on a free throw. 2 minutes remaining in the fourth period. long behind Isiah Thomas, sets a screen for Thomas at short. Benson the rebound, hooks it in. Got that line drive hook in the lane. Throwing the ball away, Cooper, and McGee did save it, believe it or not. And he's in the 10th row, and it's a 5-on-4 for the Pistons. And Thomas has his shot blocked by Rambis. And there's McGee, who got out of the 4th row to dunk it at the other end.
Let's get back on the defense.
So a 17-point game with a minute and a half to go. For the Detroit Pistons, who have not known the playoffs since the mid-late 70s. Ball club that has not had a winning year since the heyday of Bob Lanier in Detroit. They've lost over 50 games a couple of years ago, and Scotty Robertson is leading them back in his 2nd year. Coached and played at Louisiana Tech. You know what he said? He coached in New Orleans and left and went into real estate for a year. He says, you know, real estate is a people business, and that's what basketball is too.
That sounds very profound.
That's from Scotty.
Oh, okay. That's not yours. You didn't make that up yourself.
No, I didn't make that. Benson with 24. 117-103 with 1:15 to play in the ball game. And McGee. So Magic with 26, Wilkes with 25, Nixon with 23. In a big blitz. 3-point attempt missed by Benson. Kareem 19 points. And Rambis with 9. The season's high is 11. There'll be no basket, and a loose ball foul is called on Rambis. So wholesale substitutions now in the final 54 seconds of the game. Kurt Rambis, a career-high rebound. In points, he has 9. His career high is 11, and is just solidifying his spot as a starting power forward with Mitch Kupchak, who hopes to get back by March. 15 rebounds, 4 block shots for Kurt Rambis.
And the glasses haven't fallen off one time.
Hardy on the line.
Ball's in play, gotta leave his hand.
So the Pistons looking forward to getting back in a Central Division playoff fight. Tonight's a lost cause, but they went up against a buzzsaw and a team that's been knocking a lot of people out of the way.
Yeah, they ran to a different type team tonight than they've been playing, I guess.
Brewer misses outside. Rambis comes in. Tipped up, no good. Look at Rambis battling underneath. Kevin McKenna, the other rookie, McGee, Rambis, and McKenna are the 3 rookies on this team, and Kevin is in there right now. Rookie from Creighton. 37 seconds to go. Still Lakers ball. So Los Angeles, by virtue of their victory here, will maintain a 2-game lead over Seattle in the Pacific Division, 1 in the loss column. But Seattle looks to be a force coming on, as McGee now with 8 points. So the rebounding leaders, Magic and Rambis. The 3-pointer by Lee is missed, and the follow-up by Vince Johnson.
That's one of the 38 Johnsons playing in the league.
Judkins to Vince Johnson. Just 2 more. Kurt Rambis is playing right now as if it was scoreless. Hardy stuffs it in. Brewer comes in and gets the bucket, so everyone who played for the Lakers scores for the Lakers. And it was another good showing by L.A. with Magic Johnson, 26 points, 16 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 steals. You will see him at the All-Star game. So that's the end of the ball game. The Lakers 123, the Pistons 111. We'll be back at the Forum here at Inglewood in just a moment. Final score, Los Angeles 123, Detroit 111 here. The executive producer of NBA basketball, Jim Harrington. Tonight's game produced by Michael Burks. and directed by Tony Verna. And our thanks to our technical and production crew for a fine job as we watch the glorious Lakers at their very best against an undermanned Detroit Piston club. And we're still going to get some comments from Bill Russell here, so don't go away and we'll wrap up the game. And of course, our thanks to our fine statistician Marty Aronoff for his work in this ball game. You look at the rebounds, 67-40 with Rambis and Magic each with 16. Kareem had 10 blocks, and you could tell from the start of this ball game the direction it was headed.
Yeah, the Pistons, we're going to have a long night, obviously. What you have to do, a team like the Lakers, this is what you have to do to make sure that the teams that are not over 500, that you beat up on those guys and you play even with the strong teams, and that's how you get #1 in your division.
The Lakers look great tonight. Everything was clicking, but you see some hope for Detroit, I know, judging by your comments during the game.
Well, yeah, I think that for a team that has the record as not one of the better teams, they are doing a lot of good things. And what the coach is doing, to his credit, he's keeping them at those things that they do well and trying to make sure that the things that they don't do well don't really get them away from the things they do well, and keep doing those things. And so when you get another player through the draft or whatever, then you have a good foundation in which to go.
I'll see you at the All-Star game, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to try to make the All-Star game.
Try and get there. A week from Sunday, we're going to be at the Meadowlands Arena for the All-Star game. So you're looking at the final score once again. Now this is Dick Stockton for Bill Russell saying goodbye. From the Forum, final score 123-111. The Lakers over the Pistons. And don't forget tomorrow, NCAA action, Alabama-Birmingham against DePaul. And boxing, Boom Boom Mancini and Julio Valdez in a lightweight fight. And join us for the NBA All-Star Game next Sunday from the Meadowlands Arena, where you'll see Magic Johnson, Kareem, Norm Nixon, Isiah Thomas, and a whole host of stars. Dick Stockton saying so long from Los Angeles.